Y'all, today we are getting into the Three of Pentacles. We're going to be talking about Asè, this man right here. We're going to be talking about Benjamin Banneker. So let's go ahead and talk about Benjamin Banneker right here with his beautiful telescope. And here's a picture of him as well. This is a man who wrote a letter to Thomas Jefferson. Banneker, it didn't talk about it in biography.com in this article, but definitely has association with the clock, right? He created the almanacs. He's an astronomer, mathematician, and writer. Okay, so let me get into it. Interest in astronomy and surveying. Banneker's talents and intelligence eventually came to the attention of the Ellicott family, entrepreneurs who have made a name and fortune by building a series of gristmills in the Baltimore area in the 1770s. He worked in the observatory tent using a zenith sector to record the movement of the stars. However, due to a sudden illness, Banneker was only able to work for Ellicott for about 3 months. But his true acclaim to fame, right, came from his almanacs, which he published for 6 consecutive years during the later years of his life, between 1792 and 1797. These handbooks included his own astronomical calculations, as well as opinion pieces, literature, and medical and title information, which later would particularly be useful to fishermen, as we know today, right? Very, very, very interesting, including his letter to Thomas Jefferson. He would later die in his 70s. And it says that somebody burned his house down when he died. But his, his obituary was in the newspaper as well, which I thought was very, very cool because he definitely was famous in his day and after his time from that as well, right? But it's so crazy because when I hear Banneker, I don't think of a black man, even though I know that's associated with the clock. And that just shows, the ignorance that we go through in the school system and stuff like that. So let's talk about Asè, okay? A-G-E, I think we don't call it something good. I forgot what we call it in English, but let's go down to Pentacles. It's the last thing on my list here. And you could check this book out in Etsy, on my Etsy shop, where I have the whole anthropology, the major, minor, ancestors, orishas of this deck. I know it's hard to find information on this deck, so I've compiled it into several sections for you guys, which you can check out on Etsy if you don't want to go through my videos and my blabbering, right, on and on. Let's see, Ogun, so that's swords. Let's go to Asè. Here we go, Asè. I just passed it. Imana, Asè. Okay. So Asè is the god and mythology of the Fon people of Africa. He's the son of Mawulisa, which I will get into when I drop the videos on the major arcana, which is the sun and the moon in this particular deck, Mawulisa. Asè is the patron god of hunters, the wilderness, and the animals within it. He is the 4th born son of Mawulisa. When she divided up the realms of the universe among her children, she gave Asè command of the game animals, the birds, and put him in charge of uninhabited land. So what do these two have in common, Asè and Benjamin Banneker? Obviously, these are like protectors of wildlife, of the stars, the animals, very intelligent people who, when I think of like our ancient ancestors like Imhotep, I think of, I see Asè and Benjamin Banneker, even though I can't say that they're modern examples of this, like newer examples of taking care of wildlife and things like that. Now, because Three of Pentacles, usually the original expression that I've come to know it as is people working together and coming together on one thing, or even sometimes relating to a third party, things of that. But you could also see this as somebody working together with nature, working together with the stars, the animals, the birds, the planet, nature. Maybe in a career reading, someone asks, what they would like to do. Maybe they should be an astronomer or work in the wilderness or be a fisherman, something like that. This card can suggest that. And we have to remember with the African American deck that these cards at times can be very, very different from the original Rider-Waite tarot. All right. So something to think about and add a little more spice into your readings with that information behind it, okay? So if you didn't know, now you know. Benjamin Banneker and Ajay, the god and mythology of the fawn people of Africa and the son of Mawu Lisa. Hit that notification bell if you want to know when I upload the major arcana stories, okay? All right. Peace, y'all.